I'm gonna introduce you to my, well, first my little Lulu. Hi, Lulu. You good girl. She knows it's pigeon feeding time. Ava. There's the Ava Flav. That's my Ava Flav. Ava Flav. Alright, psycho birdies. Alright, watch these psychopaths. So, hi birdies. Where's my birds? I'm surprised he's not already flying all over me. Hello. Hi. Come on. Hi. You hungry? You hungry? What's that? Well, it's because I got the phone. Doesn't know what to think. Okay. Hungry? Usually he's up on my hand, but it's because I got the phone that they're being timid. I know it's kind of ghetto up here. That's a broken cat stand. And the pigeons like it. Hey, come on up. There we go. See? These are good birds. I like them. They're fun. You fun birds? Okay, hold on here. There you go. Okay, birds feeding time. So yeah, things are going interesting with the Mystery Guild. I'll have some updates for that shortly. Just had a Zoom meeting there. Have another meeting tonight. Things are in the works. I'm keeping things kind of on the DL for the most part until we're further along. But yeah, right, Ava. This is Ava. This is Ava Flav. This is the Bengal. What's up? You speak? Can you speak for the camera? Can you speak? Usually they're good. They're very smart cats. Anyway, I'll get up. So yeah, big mysteries. We're on the hunt for tunnels under St. John, right? That's the deal. And we've got some good leads. It's starting with the tunnels, but that's by far not going to be the end of it. We've got, well, yeah, if you've been following the Mystery Guild posts, yeah, it's just been, it's been awesome. A lot of participation. So what's going on is, how do I even, without spilling the beans here? Well, there's the possibility that there's a lot of ancient stuff around here. You know, everybody thinks about Egypt and Europe, all these old places over there, and we kind of had the notion that there was just some teepees here before colonists got here, and that's not the case. Yeah, so just if you're looking at all the old maps, I've shared a bunch of the old maps on the St. John Mystery Guild group page. We're dealing with maps from the 1500s and 1600s because personally I don't trust much from the year 1700 onwards. I go 1699 and back. That's the goods. Everything after that is suspect, to say the least. So yeah, I've found some cool tools that I've been using, including the Google Ngram viewer, which allows you to search the use of certain words in certain languages throughout the course of time from the 1500s to now. Been very helpful. So, for instance, like some of these maps, you get indigenous tribes that aren't very much written about. The Iroquois are written about, but the Saguenay people, the lost tribe of, or the lost kingdom of Saguenay, or the lost kingdom of Norumbega, which was right around here. And hardly anybody seems to know about that. It shows up on all the old maps in the 1500s and 1600s, but by the late 1600s, it all disappears. A lot of the labels disappear and are rewritten. Um, so there's so I'm checking some of these words in the Google Ngram viewer to see, when the French were using certain words, and they were also, kind of transitioning from Latin to French, because I think 1539 is when Latin became, or when French became the official language of what we call France today. Um, but there's a lot of Latin. The map writers were using Latin. The Jesuits that were roaming over here, they were using Latin. So yeah, I do a lot of the Google thing. That's pretty handy. That and the Google Image Translate. Oh, my Google box heard me.
Showing your photos.
What do you mean showing my photos? Where? Where are you showing my photos? Oh, I got the Google listening device over there. Hey Google, stop. Yeah, it's a handy tool that. Hey Google, what is the Lost Kingdom of Norumbega?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what you get most of the time. Hey Google, what is the Lost Kingdom of Saguenay?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Hey Google, what is Norumbega?
I don't know the answer to that specific question, but according to en.wikipedia.org, Nuremberg held great significance during the Nazi Germany.
Not that Nuremberg.
Because of the city's
Hey
reference
Google,
to the Holy.
stop. Stop your nonsense. Yeah, useless most of the time. It's not AI like the AIs are. The AIs are pretty good. It's hit and miss with AI. You got to fight with it. Or it'll tell you what you want to hear. Now you have to verify with much scrutiny. Yeah, these AIs are not to be relied upon. They're great for certain things, but the ideas and things have to come from yourself, and the research has to be real. And a lot of these old Latin texts, that's what I was getting at, is the Google Image Translate. It's awesome. I'm pumping in old Latin texts into there, and it reads it and redoes it in English and spits back out an image that turns the Latin right into English. So while I've been hoping to learn Latin, I'm fairly busy, so that's not happening anytime soon. Sadly, I am actually picking up bits and pieces. I wish I might make a better, more solid effort to learn, but right now this tool is a lot easier, and I can read things fluent in my own native language. And a lot of the stuff, some of the stuff written in the 1500s, they just got the printing press, rediscovered the printing press, in my opinion. Rediscovered a lot of technology, and the printing press came around 1450s, and then all of a sudden, all these old manuscripts were getting reprinted for the first time, and everybody's starting to see them. So in the 1500s, it was kind of like now, a little bit, where we have the internet for the last 20, 30 years, pretty hardcore. And that was kind of like what it was like when they were starting to pump out these books back in the 1500s for the first time. People were starting to get into this old, ancient, the old world, the very old world. Because, the thing is, if you look at the paintings of buildings from the 1500s or the 1200s or even earlier, the buildings are all ruins all around them, about the same condition as they are now. So whatever happened before that even. And we've all been occupying ruins over and over again for a couple thousand years, built by, built long ago. And that seems to be the case even here in North America. A lot of that's been covered up. These cities that were found already here, there's a lot of that. I suspect that a lot of the red brick cities, the old first red brick cities that are here in North America, might have more dubious beginnings than are known. So that's an ongoing research in progress. But what I was getting at, I think, is in the 1500s there, that's they were pumping out books and all these Latin books. So a lot of the books that are from the 1500s might actually be much, much older because they were old manuscripts that were found that were getting reprinted so other people could finally read them, right? And not just stuck in a little manuscript library in the Vatican or something. Which, oh man, places like the Vatican, there's places that have like hundreds of thousands of manuscripts that's still never been read that have been found. So it's pretty wild. So some of this stuff we're going to be touching on. And the question of the day is why the St. John Mystery Guild and why not the Canadian Mystery Guild, the International Mystery Guild? They might come to that at some point. I would love to have a bigger overarching mystery guild and then have sub guilds like the St. John Mystery Guild, the Wasaga Beach Mystery Guild. In Collingwood, you have tunnels, by the way. Just letting you know. And there should be a Collingwood Mystery Guild as well. Just saying that for some of my peeps out there. Nelson, BC, Nelson Mystery Guild. Oof, that's where I should have started. That's where I first started hearing about tunnels, was in Nelson, BC. Kind of, more or less. That the streets had been raised, and there's these tunnel tours under the main street in the old hotel there, which are now mysteriously shut down from the public. But yeah, this and all these old cities from the 1800s, so they say on their buildings, after all their great fires everywhere for whatever reason, if there actually were great fires. I don't know. Another little off branch here, but the Great Fires thing that perturbs me and several other people who have seen a pattern here of several brick thick walls being burned down. They caught fire, really? They burned down. They're crumbled. These places look like they were bombed. I mean, there's pictures of zeppelins in the sky pointing, beams down, and I don't know. Something's up. There's more than just something's up. That's quite the understatement. There's so much up. So I'm not even getting to the real goods, which, as some of you know, are my electrostatic endeavors. That will have to come later. So the goal is to hammer out a documentary here, or a something series maybe. We're working on something. and we're hoping to evolve it from there to, explore some of this possibilities of these lost kingdoms nearby or here. I personally think that St. John is one of those old cities I'm talking about that was found here in ruin, and then they fixed it up, took the foundations and built upon them, or dug out entire buildings from the dirt. There's a lot of that. For some of you who've never heard of that, that will sound like poppycock. There's a lot out there, and you should be checking it out because it's far more interesting than Netflix or YouTube binges and or what do they call it, doom scrolling. There's a lot to there's a lot. The world is more interesting than I've been in a lot of different mindsets over the years. I've been heavy into politics. I've been, I was a militant atheist. I don't know what I am. I'm just open-minded at this point. Well, not entirely. I'm set in my ways in a lot of things, sure. But I see things in increasingly evolving ways. And some of the things I've learned, there's just not a possibility that I can necessarily discuss them yet. I have some experiments to do, but it's some terrifying stuff that I happened to learn. Well, the Latin texts were definitely a big help, but we'll get into some of that. It is rather exciting. You've seen parts of this in some of these Tartaria groups or the free energy people talk about. There's a lot of these people that like to throw out terminology without or the ether, free energy, all this, without knowing a thing or two about what they're talking about. Now, I'm not dismissing by any means that there is something, and but you got to know what that something is, and I think I may have stumbled across that something. I believe I've developed an understanding for what I see in the old world infrastructure. Some people have it close. They'll say, "Oh, it's all frequencies," or it's electromagnetism. Both wrong. Both fairly wrong. I mean, they're part of it. Not magnets. We're stuck on magnets. That's the one thing. Electrostatics. Go with that. I try to get an understanding of the basics of electrostatics, and I swear the world will. You start to see how the Earth functions, how thunderstorms are functioning, how flowers and bees are functioning, how things grow. How rain is formed in the sky. How oxygen and hydrogen are pulled together. There's so much more, and there's a lot of interesting stuff about that in the old alchemy texts, and the New Age alchemy people drive me a little wild with their spiritual mumbo jumbo, because the thing is, and they say this. Alchemy was made illegal in like the 1300s, 1400s, because printing gold, is just willy nilly is a kind of a threat to the established powers to duplicate duplicati some gold, or elixirs of life, things like that, immortality and stuff like that. That was frowned upon, apparently. So the language started to change, and they started to codify it using a lot of spiritual mumbo jumbo. And you guys, there's all sorts of grifters out there in the last couple hundred years that are trying to sell a bunch of people on something. That's it. Sure, if it comes to fruition. Meaning, if something comes of of the spiritual mumbo jumbo, and by that I mean, like, you just gotta manifest your riches, and like, I don't know, it's stupid. Sure, maybe, but you don't have the power to manifest. Like, there's something that can amplify all of that. They're physical realities. What the alchemists were doing were real. They were using real equipment. They knew that they were physical beings, and that we deteriorate, and why we deteriorate, and what can give energy back, to things. Real stuff, real stuff. And I don't know why it's being completely ignored. It's super frustrating. Even by the Latin crowds, it seems to be they'd rather learn Roman history than if the elixir of life that a lot, you know, several people for hundreds of years and possibly thousands of years spoke of as prolonging human life for I'm not sure about indefinitely, but extending human life. And you got all these hucksters pretending to look for it on TV, and they're gonna keep selling you on that. Oh, we think we might have found it. We might have found this cure, that cure. They're full of shit. They're literally full of shit. You're gonna have to figure that out for yourself, though. There's not much I can say to if you still trust in certain things. I was kind of a dummy in the last few years, but I had my last straw a few years ago, and yeah, I allowed myself to be duped a little too much. I drank a little too much of the Kool-Aid of politics, and yeah, it's a psyop. It's a friggin' psyop. Both sides, all these nations, they're hiding the most ludicrous information from the public. Not just Canada, America, Russia, China, all of them. And that's the only that is what it is. But anyway, I've been rambling now for quite a while. Fed the birds are fed. Cats are lounging in the sun. I've said some things. I'll get back to you with some updates at some point. I haven't done one of these in quite some time, just sitting and rambling. But I'm starting to get set up here for doing so. But this is my shitty 2 megapixel square camera phone. I'm using a keyboard phone, the Unihertz Titan. You probably never heard of it, but it's awesome. It replaced the BlackBerry. That and my wicked little look at my little mini freaking laptop. This thing, look, this is my hand. Look, my hand's like freaking giant. Okay, here's a lighter. Look at us. Look at it. So yeah, that's it's so small, but it's very, very expensive. 32 gigs RAM, 4 terabytes hard drive, Windows 11, all the goods, because my other computer's about to go on the fritz, so I had to get something, and I wanted something portable. Anyway, I'm rambling quite a bit, so we'll cook it there. And let me know if you have any thoughts, or if you know of any tunnel locations here in St. John. That'd be super helpful, because we got a big list, and I'm going down it and investigating, but we need more leads. So yeah, help us out. Thanks very much. Alexander Stone, out.